All right. Welcome in, boys. We are live. Take it to the bank, Las Vegas. We're back off the week off. My guy Coop is back. His daughter got married last weekend. A lot of things happening. Coop, I missed you, my guy. Congratulations on the wedding. How did everything go?
Everything went great, man. Couldn't have asked for anything to be better. So just really good. They did a lot of great planning, and the vendors that they chose came out and did an exceptional job.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts of the wedding. What were we eating? How was the food? That's what I want to hear about.
Oh, geez.
I want to hear.
So for appetizers, they had some lamb,
Okay.
which everybody said was incredible.
All right.
I didn't have any. They had some beef on some sticks that you dipped in peanut butter. That was real, not well like a peanut butter sauce, not actual peanut butter.
Right.
But that was great. They had some salmon cakes. They had some pastry thing with like some shit in it that was really good. I don't even remember. But yeah, that was like for the appetizers during the cocktail hour and everything. Then for dinner, you had your choice of salmon, chicken, or steak. And I took the fillet. And then you either got, not celery, but asparagus with it, or these freaking carrots, man, that were like to die for, that had this honey glazed all over them.
You're getting me stiff right now, Coop.
They were really freaking good, man. Really
Most expensive dinner of your life.
So, yeah.
Did you at least get a second fillet? I mean, did they at least give you that?
No. I didn't need all that, man. But yeah, everything was worth it, man. Wouldn't say that anything could have been better.
That's awesome. I'm very, very happy for you. I'm looking forward to that day with my daughter. While you were gone, we held it down. I cashed Dinger at 12-1 and 18-1. Did you bet anything for the race before the wedding?
Yeah, man. I had my 10-leg parlay going, which won, but I didn't have Dinger.
How did you not have Dinger?
One, I only wanted to spend $50.
Oh, fair.
And I only chose 6 drivers. He probably would have been the 7th or 8th. But yeah, is what it is.
Well, Coop, right now, 23 of 30 races you and I have fucking crushed this year.
Well, it's really 24.
Okay, you're right, because I didn't bet 1 week and you did. 24-30. That's not bad, bro.
You did not participate in the very first Marty Monday.
That's true. It's been an incredible year. Hopefully, we got the home stretch. We could get it done. Now, you didn't watch the Roval, right? Obviously,
I watched from third stage on.
Oh, okay. What were your thoughts on the race at the end?
Freaking, like, we talk about how hard it is to pass a lot at these tracks. Like, that might have been the hardest one of the entire year.
Yep.
Like, it was horrible, man.
It was impossible. If you were in front, you were gold. Yeah.
Not a fan of the Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, me either, to be honest. All right, so we're at Vegas now. We're back on 1.5 miles. I don't know what are the track comps for Vegas? All the normal 1.5 miles, Charlotte, Texas, all those.
Yeah. Just the basic.
Yeah, what's great about like we've put so much work in to this point in the year already that it's great to just know who's going to be fast. Like we're not searching for who's going to be fast. We basically know.
To a degree.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part, I mean, I think qualifying is going to be, a crapshoot, kind of like the Xfinity was. I didn't watch it or anything. I just saw the results and the drivers from practice who you thought would be up there didn't do very good. But there's going to be some surprises that we're going to have to adjust to and pay attention to certain drivers, so on and so forth. But I totally agree. There's 7 drivers that have been really good on mile and a half this year.
So we talked a little bit and we were basically locked in all week, but I want to know, like, what do you think about manufacturer wise in general, right? Like pretty much everybody that you and I like is a Toyota or a Chevy basically, right? So like what do you think about Ford in general this week?
I mean, that's the way it's been for all these mile and a half tracks.
Right.
I think Ford will have some good qualifying runs tomorrow, like they typically do at the mile and a halves, but they just don't have the car to consistently stay up there for whatever reason. I do think that Blaney, Busher, maybe Keselowski are much better on the mile and a halves now than what they were, in the first part of the season, middle part of the season.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, man. There. Well, I mean, Blaney won Charlotte, right? But
Yeah,
other
that's the
than
only one that Ford's really even been competitive in.
right. Yeah. Well, except Chris Buescher at Texas was really good.
Yeah.
He was really good there.
But overall, as a manufacturer, not good whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
I could take the tractor out and they could run faster than Stuart Haas.
So you don't plan on betting any Fords pre-flop, right?
No, I do not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm basically with you. The one guy that I thought, like, I don't know, maybe was Buescher.
Yeah, Blaney and Buescher are the 2 Fords that scare me, even more than Keselowski.
Yeah, there are a couple Chevys, too, that were not on that I think could cause us some problems, too. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely.
But going down the odds board.
I have a question for you.
Sure, buddy.
While we're talking about Ford. You know how they used to, do the old point system in NASCAR?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before the playoffs.
Right.
Do you know what driver would be in second place under that format? And have a legitimate shot at winning the championship?
Ty Gibbs.
No.
Is it a Ford? Oh, it's a Ford. Happy.
No.
Who?
Chris Buescher.
Oh, well, that's yeah. I mean, he doesn't he still have a chance to win it right now?
Yeah, but like he would only be like 10 or 15 points behind in the old system.
That was a trick question, bro. You can't come at me with a guy that's currently in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, but come on, man.
Oh, he's been incredible. I'm with you. He scares the shit out of me every week.
Yeah.
He's
been consistent because I mean that really rewards consistency. Because you won't place Kyle Larson to be it?
Probably not in the top 10. Where would he be? Ninth, right.
Yeah.
And when you look at the price, like 16-1 is really fair with how good he's been the last 2.5 months. That's a fair price for Buescher right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I just can't bet him.
I know these mile and a halves, man. These guys at the top have been so consistently fast. I'm with you. All right. So going down the odds board, Kyle Larson, your odds-on favorite at 4-1, and Byron currently. I'm just looking at that 365. Byron currently 4.5. If there's one car this week that you think could absolutely shit all over the field, is it Kyle Larson?
I think there's two.
Him and who? Byron?
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is, like, if you're not betting this sport like you and I have this year, it's impossible to bet these guys. Like 4-1? Like, I mean, at that point, you can only bet them two and nobody else if you want to make money. Or you have to do what we've consistently done all year long, which people frown on.
Not all year, but since the summer.
Yeah, since one race with Joey Logano in it. Yeah, right. So you and I are going to be on Kyle Larson and we're going to be on Will Byron, but it's really hard to bet them straight. It really is.
Like you said.
Yeah, you can't. But I mean, Will Byron at the first Las Vegas race this year, he was the fastest car in every segment but the third. And then Kyle Larson was the second fastest in every segment but the third, where he was the best. So, I mean, no surprises there from Byron and Larson. Anything you want to add with those guys?
No, I mean, Byron has just been really consistent. And, I was thinking about it, like John Hunter Nemechek is the Will Byron of Xfinity. Like John Hunter Nemechek just sits around, and eyes. And, like, he doesn't always have the best car, but he's finding his way to the winner's circle.
Yeah.
Because he's keeping it clean and, being fast.
And on Sunday, he could very well have the fastest car to boot.
Yeah. So Byron definitely could, man. I think when you're looking at the playoffs, though, I think that out of the 8 drivers that are left, they set up the best for Will Byron.
Will Byron and Denny Hamlin are the 2 guys that I would like to get on to win the championship before this weekend is over. Because
I'm not telling you not to get on Denny, but I think that if he gets to Phoenix, it's going to be tough for him because those HMS cars are really freaking good there.
Your Final Four right now, here's where I'm at with the Final Four. I think that there's a very good chance that it's Larson, Byron, Denny, and Marty. But if there's one car that I think could fuck it up for one of those guys, it's Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I think that it's going to come down to those 5 drivers.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
With a potential of Chris Bell. I'm not giving up on Chris Bell.
Oh, Coop, he's been so bad during the races, though. He's been disappointing this year, man. He really has been. He shit the bed a lot on his own this year.
Yeah. I won't disagree with that, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess you're right because he's so fast every week, but it never matters.
Right. Because, like, if Larson doesn't win this week, then it comes down to him and Reddick next week. And I'm telling you, I think next week Kyle Larson opens at 3-1.
Where are we at next week?
Homestead.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He owns that track, man. He's really, really good there. Byron's going to be good there too, though.
Yeah, Byron's won there.
Yeah. So after those two guys, Denny's 5-1, Reddick is 6-1. You could shop around. You could find 8-1 on Reddick right now. You could probably find 8-1 on Marty too. But just looking at Bet 365, Denny 5-1, Reddick 6-1, Marty 7-1. Out of those three guys, I think the only guy that I won't be on pre-flop is Marty. I think like I when you and I were talking earlier in the week, we were like, oh, we have to think about Denny, but definitely Reddick. I think we have to bet Denny, bro. I think that he's.
I've already bet him.
Oh, okay. So okay, yeah. All right, good. All right, so yeah, so I'll be on Denny. I'll be on Reddick. Did you bet Marty?
No,
I didn't. Yeah, I haven't. I don't plan on it either. I don't think, unless we bet it live. But
right.
Yeah. Again,
I don't know what is. Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Yeah. No problem.
I don't know what's wrong with Marty. Granted, these tracks aren't his best that we've seen over the since the beginning of the playoffs. Overall, they just haven't had a good car, and that's the concern. And it's not just been like one or two races; it's been like 8 races.
You think he peaked?
He could have. Would I be surprised if he ran good this weekend? No, I would not be surprised whatsoever. But I just can't bet him pre-race, like with what he's shown.
I'm with you. I don't disagree at all. All right, so Larson, Byron, Denny, and Reddick. Yes, boys, we will be on them. Obviously, not at these prices. Find a side that you like in the NFL or two, or the UFC, and get them in there. Marty is going to be a pass. Chris Bell, he's another guy, Coop, that like when I wrote down the 6 or 7 guys that I wanted to back, he wasn't on my list. Did you bet Bell?
No, I didn't. But I would bet Bell before Marty. One, he hasn't been as bad. He's had some good speed and so on and so forth. But his numbers, much better too.
Right. After Bell, I'm probably not going to bet Bell pre-flop. It'll probably be one of those things where Coop and I get on him live because, like, he could very well get the pole tomorrow. He's done it a half dozen times. That doesn't mean shit, man. It just doesn't mean anything this year with him. So it'll definitely be an evaluate live. After him, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch scares the shit out of me. He's one of those guys I think that could beat us on Sunday for sure. But I don't really have a plan to bet him pre-flop. Where are you at with KB?
Same. I'll watch him live. And, he's one of the probably 5 drivers who I think could win that I probably won't be on.
Yeah, based on Vegas, both races at Kansas, Charlotte, and Texas, he's been top 10 in speed basically in every one of those races. So if he comes hooked up and comes correct, he could definitely make some noise. 12-1. I'm sure you could probably find a better number than that. That's probably a fair number on KB this week. I don't mind it. After him, Ryan Blaney 12-1, Elliott 14-1. I'm not going to bet Ryan Blaney. I know he won at Charlotte, and he's been pretty solid, but I'm not going to bet him pre-flop. I'll get on him live if I have to. Is that you're the same place with Blaney?
Correct.
Okay. After him, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's the one Hendrick car you and I didn't talk about this week. Where are you at with him? He wasn't on my list.
Yeah, I am up in the air on him. I might bet him pre-race. Fact is,
Really?
if you take since the playoffs begin, and you look at the points, Chase Elliott's number 2 in the points. He's starting to put it together.
We've had a few road courses to help him out, though.
True, we have had a few road courses to help him out. All right. But again, all that's going to do is what? Bring more confidence to him, you know?
Yeah. Man, now you're throwing me off. I don't know what
I mean, and I don't think this is his best shot to win. I think his best shot to win is either Martinsville or Phoenix.
I would agree with that better than Vegas for sure.
But, and I decided 2 things this week.
What's that?
And one of them is Chase Elliott. When the odds for next year open up over the winner, I would be betting Chase Elliott to win the championship, assuming he's longer than 10 to 1 or at 10 to 1.
I was just going to say, what number do you want? He's not going to be 10 to 1. I think he's going to be lower than that.
I don't know. Depends on how he finishes up. We'll have to wait and see. Would you ever thought you saw Chase Elliott at 16 to 1, 18 to 1, 20 to 1?
No.
Right now?
No.
All right.
All right. After Elliott, Keselowski, and Buescher.
I mean, if he goes on and somehow wins the championship for the owners, yeah.
I mean, I'm not against betting them to win the chip next year at all. I can get behind that as long as the number's right. Keselowski and Buescher both sitting there at 16 to 1. Now, he struggled big time.
I mean, what you have no interest in Elliott whatsoever?
What to win the chip next year?
No, this race.
Oh, I just have a list of guys that I would bet before him, and it's pretty long. I'm probably not going to get there pre-race. If I have to get on him live, I'll do it live. I'm probably not going to bet him pre-flop because, to be honest with you, Coop, if I was backing somebody at 16 to 1, it would be fucking Buescher or Keselowski. It wouldn't be Chase. If you look at Keselowski, started awful on the 1.5 miles, but top 6 in speed at that second Kansas race and Texas. We know what Buescher's done the last 2.5 months. I think that there's better market value on both those numbers than at Elliott at 14, who's had mixed results. Like even Texas, I don't even think he was in the top 15 in speed. Let me check. 12th. Yeah, he wasn't in the top 15. He was 12th. But yeah, so Buescher and Kez, they scare me, especially Buescher. Like I could see me and you sitting there on Sunday afternoon saying, how did we not bet that guy at 16 to 1? I could definitely see that happening. But you can't bet everybody. You can't bet everybody.
There's a way we can get on him. It won't be much, but it'll give us a little bit.
Top Ford?
No. On Caesars, they have a bet, any of the 3 to win. All right. And Buescher's one of them.
Who are the other 2?
But Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson.
What's the price?
Horrible.
Horribly goes. All right, good stuff, Coop.
I mean, we could probably get it to 10 to 1.
I wouldn't mind that. That's a nice ticket to have in your back pocket. Those 3 guys.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's an out for Buescher, but it also gives you Larson and Hamlin.
True.
So, but it starts at 175. So we would probably need two pieces to get to 10.
So I'm undecided on what I'm going to do with the 2 Roush guys. I don't know yet. I don't know.
But I mean, like I said, that's a way that we can get on it, and then
What's Roush to win the race?
Hold on. I'm gonna say 7-1. Let's see here.
That's another way to get on those 2 guys.
9-1 on 365.
That's not bad, Coop. They could both win the race.
What would you want at 20?
Yeah, like I'm sure we could double that number pretty easily.
Right.
All right. After those 2 guys, we'll talk about it when we get to the props. Chastain, 18-1. Another guy that scares me.
Yeah.
I know he's been relatively quiet like this year, but he's been solid on these 1.5 miles. He hasn't been bad on them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So I just can't do it though. I'll just wait.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's a long list of guys to bet before you get to him.
But I mean, he's what, 28-1, 25-1?
18 at Bet365.
I could have sworn I saw 28 out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there are at other places. After him, 3 guys that I've already bet this week straight. Bubba Wallace at 20-1. Alex Bowman, I think I bet at 30 or 35 or 40. 40. And then Gibbs at 30, but I took a bad number. I didn't realize Caesars had 40. So I screwed myself. But I have bet Bubba, Bowman, and Gibbs. People are like, Bowman? What the fuck are you doing? He was in the top 3 at the first Vegas race all day long. He had a phenomenal car. If they come correct and they come hooked up again, he's going to be in the mix. And I know he hasn't really been in the running to win anything this year, really, at least the last few months. But I think he could show up. You think he could show up. I bet all those 3 guys. You bet those 3 guys?
Not yet, but I will bet Ty and Bubba before the festivities tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Bowman, I'm not sure on, and it's not because I don't like him or not. I want to go back and look at the qualifying groups again and see where, because I don't know, we might even really get a 50-1 on him pre-race.
I only bet like a third of a unit on him. I think I bet less than a half unit on Gibbs, and I bet about 3/4 of a unit on Bubba. Bubba is so stupid fast on these 1.5 mile tracks, man. I can't believe he hasn't won a race yet. Because his car is that good. You think Sunday's the day, Coop?
Could be, but I mean,
he doesn't have to worry. He's not thinking about the playoffs anymore. He could just go out there and drive.
Yeah, but I mean, if he gets up in the first and second, then he's right there. Guess what? He's just going to play roadblock for Denny. So that's my concern.
That's fair. That's a fair concern.
So
that's fair.
But I definitely will have some a lot of Bubba this week.
Anybody past Alex Bowman at 40 that you think is worth talking about in terms of winning the race?
The only other driver would be Eric Jones. He's done very well in the last 2.5 mile tracks. But again, he's a driver I think I can get live. He's not going to qualify that great.
Yeah, I had the qualifying groups up.
Which one's Bowman in A or B?
Bowman is in Group A. He's got
I think that's easier of the two.
He's got Reddick, Elliott, Larson, Marty, KB, Bubba. Those are the guys in there that I think he has to worry about. Oh, Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, might have to bet him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's the outright market. You guys know we're going to be on not Marty. Larson, Byron, Reddick, Bubba, Bowman. Who am I missing? Is that it?
Yeah, I've only bet 4 so far, but like I said, I'll have maybe Bowman, but definitely hit them all.
Yeah, Denny, Larson, Byron, Denny, Reddick, Bubba, Bowman, and Gibbs. Those are the guys that I'm going to be on.
Now, this is a track where I don't know if qualifying means as much because, like, if you look at like how the top 10 started and how the top 10 finishes, like, there's not many people in the top 10 that finish in the top 10.
What's the tire wear situation at Vegas compared to like all the other normal cookie cutter mile and a half?
It's probably mild to average. I don't think it's as much as Charlotte, and not as much as Kansas, but I don't think it's too far behind them.
Okay. Top 3, top 5, anything that you were looking at?
Yeah, I'll have Bubba Wallace top 5.
Yeah, I can get behind that. What's the best number you see? 3-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't bet any top 5s yet. I did bet 3 top 10s though. Anybody else in the top 5 that you think is worth betting?
I mean,
Bowman's
there is. I mean, we could get some other drivers at decent numbers, but I want to use a parlay on something else this week versus the top 5s and 10s.
I don't mind Buescher at plus 250 either. He could easily finish in the top 5. Other than that, though, they're really making you pay for it. I don't mind Eric Jones either at 5-1. You could get the number up on that if you wanted to. All right, top 10s. I bet Bubba, Bowman, and Gibbs top 10. They were like even money, plus 130 and plus 125. Those are the only 3 that I bet so far. Did you bet any top 10s?
I have not, but I have 4 drivers listed, and the only other one I have is Jones, and then those 3.
You think he's going to run well?
Who, Eric Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just he's run well the last 2. Why he wouldn't here, I don't know. Something's changed with that team on this 1.5-mile structure.
Where did he finish the last 2 1/2 miles? That would be what?
In
Texas?
The top 5.
Texas and Kansas too. He was in the top 5 on both.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He had top 5 speed at Texas and basically top 5 speed at Kansas too. All right. But he was so bad on these tracks at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So weird, man. These teams just find something out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, all right. I can get behind Eric Jones top 10. Are you planning on trying to get the numbers down on Byron and Larson and Reddick and Denny for top 10 to get it to like even money?
No. I'm going to parlay something else.
Parlaying motherfucker, you are. All right, matchups. Any matchups you saw that you liked?
None. Not one.
Not one?
Nope.
There's got to be one out there.
Nope. Not that caught my eye.
All right, I'll look at matchups tonight.
Same with groups.
No groups. I think I saw one group that seemed pretty good.
What was it?
I think it was Gibbs and Bowman.
Yeah, there's a Gibbs and Bowman group, but it has Bubba Wallace in it, and I'm not messing with it.
No, this was another group that it didn't have Bubba in it. It might have been a Superbook though.
Okay.
Yeah. This one is Gibbs, Bowman, Harvick, and Logano. Wouldn't you take Gibbs and Bowman in that group?
Yeah.
They're like 230 and 250 in that group. I didn't mind.
But I think it's going to be more of a sweat than what you might think.
Why? You think Happy or Joey could be in the top 10?
Yeah.
Other than that, though, that was the one group that caught my eye. I didn't really see anything else.
Hold on. There is, I think. Let me go here real quick. I don't think we've really talked about these
Caesars
in the past. Yes,
I'm there. I don't mind getting the number up on Chevy and Toyota either, to be honest.
right. Bubba Wallace minus 135 against Keselowski plus 105. Qualifying match head to head.
Oh, qualifying. You like Bubba?
Yeah.
Or Kez?
No, Bubba.
Ford qualifies, though, fast, man, out of nowhere sometimes.
They do.
Like, it would not shock me if Joey Logano was starting in row 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's plus 170 in qualifying, heads up against Kyle Larson.
Mm-hmm. Look at the one right above it.
Yeah. Bubba minus 135.
No. Above it.
That's the one right above it. That's the one I have.
Oh, not how I'm listed. Brian Blenny's minus 120 against Hamlin. Minus 110.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because they do qualify fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chris Bell should not be even money at this point in the year. That kid, that's for the race, not qualifying. I was going to say. I thought he was even money heads up against somebody in qualifying. I would have bet that.
He is even money.
No, that's not qualifying, though.
Against Will Byron?
No, the one I was looking at was against Tyler Reddick. I see it now. He is even money. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, bro. I might have to bet that. Like, just
you're talking about number 1 and number 2 qualifier the whole year.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Teams.
Oh, teams. Let
me see what Bet365 has. Wow, Hendricks plus 150, huh? Whew. $23 XI 5.5 to 1. That's fair. Although I don't like the fact that you're right. If Denny's up there, he's probably just going to block for him. So I don't mind. I don't mind the Roush number.
Yeah.
That's probably the only one out of those that I would want to bet.
I mean, the only thing is, like, if you look at that one and then you look at the one I gave you, the other one is a horrible number, but it gives you 2 outs. Whereas if you bet the team, then you're basically on 2 drivers who could not get it done.
Right.
And it doesn't give you, Keselowski protection if you go the other way.
Top manufacturer. Apparently, you and I had the exact same conversation with different people. You were talking to Adam earlier in the week. I was talking to you today. Bubba Wallace should not be 9 to 1 to be the top Toyota. That's fucking nuts. And Gibbs shouldn't be 12 to 1 either. Not with how fast he's been this year. I think those two are worth betting, but are you planning on betting all 6?
Yes.
I have so much action already. I can't do that. I can't do that this week.
I just want the guaranteed money.
Yeah, I get it. I might just take the shot on Bubba and Gibbs. And if it goes down, it goes down. What's up, boys in the chat?
Because, I mean, any of the 4 could win. Other 4.
Yeah, definitely.
They could all finish in the top 10.
100%. I already have $10K worth of NFL action, and that was before I bet the race, so it's impossible. I can't do it. But I will bet Bubba. I will throw probably a half unit on Bubba and maybe a half unit on Gibbs to win top Toyota. But I get it. I get why you're doing it. After that, top Ford.
I mean, I don't understand how they can be like that number.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they're wising up to Reddick, right? He's 3 to 1 now. So then why is Bubba 9 to 1?
Like Harvick and Logano were 6 to 1.
It doesn't make any sense.
They're the 4th and 5th ranked Fords.
Right.
Like they shouldn't be 9 and 12. They should be somewhere between 550 and 700, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I think the number on Bubba is way more egregious than the number on Gibbs. But even Gibbs, He's been very good.
No, this isn't one of the 2 things I was talking about. But I will be putting some money on Ty Gibbs this offseason too. To win the chip next year.
To do who?
To win the chip next year.
Well, that's a 30-second timeout. Coop clearly hit his fucking head at the wedding. Because that is fucking crazy, bro. That kid. How about the kid wins a race before we start betting him to win the chip? How about that? Come on, Coop, bro. I mean, what are we even talking about? What are we even talking about?
The kid's good. He'll have a full year under him. Well, actually, almost 2 now.
Okay.
And it's just a number bet because he's going to be 25, 30, 40 to 1.
But 25, 30, 40, you can't justify that when he's never won a race. He should be 100.
Does he need to win a race to win the championship?
I mean, yes. Has anybody in this new format won the chip without winning a race?
Probably not.
Right. And until me and you 20 years from now, there still won't be somebody to win the chip without winning a race. I can't do it. Like if you were like Keg, you know what, bro? We're gonna go over 1.5 wins for Ty Gibbs next year. I would be like, okay.
Isn't
maybe
the ultimate goal to get him to the Final Four?
Sure. But you're pipe dreaming right now. We're a couple years away from us betting Ty Gibbs to win the chip.
So you're sitting here chastising me.
Yeah. Don't start. Don't talk about Ricky. Don't talk about Ricky Stenhouse.
Exactly.
Don't talk about Ricky Stenhouse. He won a race. Okay. My guy Ricky won a race. And he was 100-1, not 25.
Well, I mean, Gibbs might be 50 or 60-1. Who knows? I can see it now. Ty Gibbs wins the Daytona 500 next year. The next day, Gibbs going in.
Yeah, then I'll be in. I do. I'll tell you what. I think he wins a race next year.
Yeah, I mean, he's the second half of the year has been much better than the first half.
Yeah, he's too good, and that car is just too fast. I think he'll win a race. I think we're a couple years away from betting him to win the chip, though. And by a couple years, Coop means 4 months.
Hey.
All right.
He can win it.
Top Ford. Do we just take Blaney, Busher, and Kez and get the number up?
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You're a greedy son of a fucking bitch.
I am greedy. Yeah, I am.
Because you just sat here and told me you couldn't bet 6 Toyotas for guaranteed money.
Yeah.
But you'll take 2 of them, hope that you win, and then take another 3 in a different one and hope you win that.
Correct. That's right.
Even though you're already 10K invested.
Correct. Yep.
So it's really not about being 10K invested. It's about you being a greedy son of a bitch.
No, because I can't bet those 6 and then bet this 3. I have to draw a line somewhere. Or I'm going to be sleeping on your fucking couch. I got to draw a line. But what do you think? Do you think any of the other Fords have anything for those 3 guys?
It would just be Harvick and Logano. But I mean, I could see you very well doing that and it winning if you can get him to 6-1.
Yeah, I have to think about that, but maybe I'll bet those 3. Top Chevy. I'm tempted to just take Larson and Byron. I don't think anybody's going to have any. I really don't think it's worth betting any other person. I wouldn't bet him at those numbers, but I mean, if I was going to target this market, it would just be those 2 guys.
Do you have the last 2 mile-and-a-halves pulled up?
I could pull them up. What do you want to know?
Kansas and Texas.
Like speed rank or finish?
No, the results.
All right, hang on.
Who was the top Chevy?
$2023. Last 2 races. So Fort Worth. Well, Byron won the race, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So that was for Texas. And then Kansas It was Eric Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Yeah, Eric Jones and Kyle Larson.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I would stick with the Ford.
What is he to be the top Chevy?
16.
Imagine he fucking wins on Sunday.
Right, but I mean, like, if Jones can do it, I think Busch, Elliott, Chastain, and Bowman can do it too.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like you're fighting against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers, whereas with the Ford, you're really only fighting against 2.
That's fair. What else? Any other markets you want to look at?
Let me see if I have anything else written down. No, I had Chevy and Toyota. Wallace top 5s, the top 10s. We talked about the top Toyotas, the top 10. The Buescher, Hamlin, Larson bet. No.
Did you see the bet at Caesars? I never saw it before. Most laps led by a single driver. They set it at 108.
Yeah. So all those bets correlate with each other. And I went in to try to parlay them, and they won't let you parlay them. Because if I was going to bet one, I would bet all 4 or 5 of them. Because I think you're going to all of them are going to be on one side, and it basically comes down to: do you think there's a bunch of cautions or do you not?
Yeah.
Because if there's a bunch of cautions, it's going to be under the speed limit that they give you. All right. And then what is it? How many drivers to lead?
It was like the one I saw was most laps led drivers to lead a lap 10.5. They have it
right. So if there's a bunch of cautions, then there's more chance that people pit more often, get on different strategies, and we see different drivers lead. Whereas if there's few cautions, you're not going to see as many drivers lead. And then the other one was that you said 108 laps. So if we have a lot of cautions, probably more leaders, so you're not going to get there. But if we have few cautions, they all correlate to each other.
Yeah.
That was my only interest in them, to try to parlay them all together. But I give it to Caesars for coming up with it.
All right, boys. So to recap,
they're out of all the books, like them and 365 have hung in the most on NASCAR.
Yeah.
DK was never in it. All right. Barstool, like, I don't even know if they have anything up other than the win and the manufacturer.
Last I checked.
MGM, they've given up on it. They're the only 2 books that have stayed in it, and I give them props for, coming up with something new.
Yeah, I'll buy that. All right, so to recap, Denny, Larson, Byron, Reddick, Bowman, Gibbs, and Bubba are the guys I'm going to be on. Coop at 4 guys. Larson, Byron, Bubba, and who? Denny?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Top 10s, Bubba, Bowman, and Gibbs, I bet. I'll probably add Eric Jones. Coop likes it. I'll probably add it. Top 5, I'll be on Bubba for sure with Coop. And maybe Eric Jones. I have to think about that. We'll see. Top Toyota, Coop's betting them all. I'm going to probably throw a quarter to a half unit on Bubba and Gibbs to try to catch one of those prices. Top Ford, I might, depending on, I don't know. I have to think about it. But if we do bet it, it'll be Buescher, Kez, and Blaney to be the top Ford. And that's really it. You want to talk about the NFL, Coop?
No, man. We need to talk about the main show tomorrow. Xfinity, what they're all here for.
That's all you, buddy. Go ahead. That's all you. Me and Signed. We sit on the sidelines now. We don't bet Xfinity anymore.
Okay. So we'll move on to the NFL.
Who do you like? Yeah, I saw you put somebody in our Discord.
Chandler Smith.
That's the one guy you bet like randomly all the time.
I have a fetish.
I'm a big Chandler guy too, bro. What price did you get?
16. Sign said it was 17 on DK. You can get it for like at 20 at Barstool, but I don't have Xfinity for Barstool.
Sign said I'd rather bet ping pong. Yeah, Sign. Listen, all we're gonna do next year, we're gonna bet twice as much on the trucks, my guy. Twice as much.
So,
we're done with this series.
You said speaking. You brought up trucks.
Yeah, we got to get on somebody else.
So that was the second thing I decided this week.
You're going to take Hocevar?
Well, Hocevar is not going to be in the trucks next year.
Oh, I thought you meant for the final. I'm a little nervous that we're only on. I know we got a great number on Heim, but I think we need a little protection.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Hocevar has been really good, but I've decided next year that on all the short tracks, I'm going to bet William Sawalwich top 5, top 10, and maybe to win.
I love that. The kid's been a stud. I don't mind that at all.
Like I don't think I have to look at the overall roster, man, but like I don't know if there's going to be as much competition this year and next year in the trucks as there is this year.
And I'll tell you what, next year we'll never get better numbers on that kid than next year, because after that, if how he raced this year is any indication of his talent level and the truck, the numbers are going to go. It's going to be like Sammy was in Xfinity. Right. They're going to go down. Yeah.
I mean, he can't race a mile and a half or bigger.
Yeah, right. So, how old does he have to be for that? 18?
Yeah.
I can get behind that Sawalwich.
But I mean, he's consistently in the top 5 and top 10 this year at freaking 16 years old.
Yep. I like that. So, I like that a lot more than Gibbs to win the chip. I'll tell you that.
Oh, whatever.
Who I didn't see practice today. Who looked very good in practice?
I was eating sushi and hibachi, man.
How was that hibachi, my guy?
Man, the sushi was incredible.
I'm stunned that you're a sushi guy. I'm not even a sushi guy. I live 15 minutes away from New York City, and I'm not a sushi guy.
Man, it's really good. Really good. So funny story while we're talking about food. My daughter sends me a text the other night, and she's like, "We got enough food to frickin' feed a village." I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, "Well, we ordered the tasting sampler, something like that,
right?
And it's like a little bit of everything, and like they gave them full-size portions
of everything."
Of everything.
Jesus Christ.
And she's like, get this. It was 5 courses. And each course came with a glass of wine. She's like, we walked out of that place with 2 bags, not 1, 2 bags.
And buzzed.
Probably.
Yeg sent me a message today. He's in Italy. He sent me a message and he was like, bro, this Italian wine hits different. I'm absolutely gone out of my mind right now. I was like, enjoy. Yeah, gone out of his mind right now.
My wife, has started the white wine from Italy. Is really good.
White wine is the shit, bro. I love white wine.
Yeah. Actually, I think I got her a bottle the other day at Fresh Market. I'll have to look when I go back in. So, Baltimore and Tennessee. Baltimore's 4.5 favorites, 42 total. It's in London, right?
Yeah,
somewhere overseas.
it's in London.
And Baltimore seems to be getting more players back this week. Tennessee's taking a different approach to it. They didn't arrive until today, where Baltimore's been there all week.
I have the line 4 on the neutral, and it's exactly 4 right now.
But you said you like Baltimore.
I do, yeah. I lean Baltimore. I have not bet them. Oh, it just went to 4.5. Actually, I didn't bet them. I only bet 2 sides so far, but I might bet them. I don't know. I lean there. I just think I think they're a better football team, really, at the end of the day. And Harbaugh, the last time he was there, he lost, and he does not want to lose again. I think that they probably win the game
by 4.5.
Yeah, I'm not going to lay 4.5. No, I'm not going to lay 4.5.
You think it goes over or under?
Man, those London games they just tend to go under. There's just not a lot of scoring out there the majority of the time. I probably lean under.
23.5 team total for Baltimore.
Yeah, I think they can get there.
I was hoping it'd be a little closer to 2021.
I think they could get there.
What's up with Derrick Henry?
Like, he's just not that. I don't know, man. They beat the shit out of Derrick Henry for a long time. Eventually, the tire, the tread comes off the tire. Let me pull up his stats this year. See what Derrick Henry's done. He's got 328 through 5 games. He's only averaging 65 yards a game. 86 carries. What's that? 90 carries. That's 16 basically a game.
Yeah, not many. I think I'm just going to live bet that game.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's probably
do we need to talk about Carolina and Miami?
Miami by a fucking billion. I think that we're in such a good place right now. I will be stunned if we don't make money from the plays on the website right now in the NFL. Fall off my chair, stunned. I think that a chain not being there, we got all the Mostert props that we wanted early. We beat the line by 8 yards. Last time I checked, he was like 75.5. I think his 100 plus is in play. We got it at plus 360. It's like 220 last I checked. I bet Mostert to score a touchdown, him to get 2 touchdowns. I bet Hill to score a touchdown. I bet Hill to get 100 plus. I bet Hill 2 touchdowns. I bet Waddle to score a touchdown. I am invested in that Miami game, and I think we're going to hit the majority of them. I really do. I'll be so surprised if we don't.
I'd bet 4 of them.
Did you bet like side total or anything, or did you just bet the player props?
I bet over 13.5 rushing attempts.
Yep, I'm on it.
Anytime touchdown with the win for Mostert and Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
And over 67.5 rushing yards.
Love that. You know, I think they cover too, bro. I think they're going to cover this number. I think
I
that
mean,
this is one of those games where they have 28 at the break, Coop, like 28-3 at the half.
yeah, I think that's one of my concerns. I have two concerns. One, Mostert, not the healthiest dude. All right. Two,
No, there's just nobody there to take the workload, though.
28-3 at halftime. All right. I don't think they're going to run it up like they did it against Denver. Okay.
Why?
Well, one, they already have 2 injured backs. They're going to have running backs. They might see it as an opportunity to, hey, let's see what they can do. And I don't want Mostert to get hurt. And they could pull him. And, same could be said for, Tua. So I do have some reservations. Like, I think that Denver game was like the perfect cyclone.
What do you think about -8.5 in the first half? I think they're going to cover that number.
It could. Very well could.
What's their first half team total? It's probably like 17.5, right?
Probably. Maybe 20.
16.5, Coop?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, but I like that.
I might have to bet that. 16.5. They might have 17 by the end of the first quarter. It's going to be a massacre. I mean, can you name 2 teams worse than Carolina? I can't.
Oh, the Giants.
And who would be the other team? That I have the Giants and Carolina, the last 2 right now.
Could be very well that team we watched last night.
Ugh.
They were pitiful.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
But yeah, those 2. But those are my concerns. I could just see them pulling the reins off Mostert since they're already depleted at running back, and saying, "Hey, let's see what these guys can do for us because we might need them."
There's a good shot, boys, in the chat that I'm betting that team total. I'm going to check to see what the best line is, but I'm probably betting that 16.5 in the first half. I don't mind 30.5 for the game either, to be honest, with what they've done this year. But I'm going to bet that 16.5 if that's the best I see. All right, what else we got?
I think the next game is the Jaguars at home, laying 4 against the Colts at 44.5.
I see a lot of sharp people liking the Colts this week.
Anthony Richardson's not playing, right?
Correct.
Jonathan Taylor is, right?
I believe so, yeah. Minshew's an upgrade from Richardson, I think, right now at least, especially considering he's playing at half health every game.
Indy played him tough at home.
I lean the Jags in this game, okay? But people I respect in the industry are on the Colts, which scares me a little bit. But I do lean the Jags. Where are you at?
I don't know. The Colts are hard to figure out, man. Like, on paper, they don't look very good. But they play better than what you think they're going to. They're kind of like the freaking Texans. On paper, they look horrible. But they end up playing better than what you think.
Yeah.
Just another live game. I'll bet live.
What do you think about the total?
I want to lean under.
1.5.
I want to lean under, but I don't know, man. I could see Jacksonville steamrolling these guys.
Yeah, the total was basically 45.5 up until like a week ago. And then it went down to 44.
Jacksonville's coming into this game with some confidence after beating Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I lean Jacksonville. But again, like I wouldn't be surprised if they steamroll them, but yet I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 3-point game.
Coming home from London, like I think that and like it could always be like the letdown off the big win against the Bills. It's situationally, I really lean the Colts. I just don't think they're the better team. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I again too, like the under could come back in too because they're going to control the clock, both of them, or attempt to. So
Yeah.
they're going to look run first.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just a live game for me.
Yep, me too.
The Bears at home against the Vikings. The Vikings are laying 3 in a 43.5 point total.
So first, let's talk about Fields. What the fuck is going on in Chicago the last 2 weeks? Like all of a sudden, this kid looks like a real quarterback.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence. Him and DJ Moore are finally, hit their stride with each other, and it's an interesting situation because, like, I think they're better than what they were against Kansas City when they just looked like, really bad.
Yeah.
But, man, that team has so many injuries, and they're not that good of a team. But, like, the Vikings,
I'll tell you where I'm at. It might surprise you right now. JJ not playing, that's worth literally a full point to the line. But even with him not playing, I lean Minnesota. Like I would, if I was betting a side in this game, I would lay the 3 before I would take the Bears at home. Because I just think that Minnesota is a way better football team. And listen, statistically, the Vikings are better this year than last year. The only difference is the volatility in the fourth quarter when they won 9 games last year where they were trailing in the fourth quarter. That volatility has come full circle, and they're losing some games that they're in, but should have the chance to win, but they're just not getting it done this year. So I think
hold on. They've been doing it for 2 years, Jay.
What do you mean?
Like, how many games did they lose last year that they should have won?
Yeah, but last year they won 13 games.
Right,
and,
but like
and
they won those games by what, like 2 points? 1 point, 2 points?
Yes.
1 point?
Yes. And I'm saying statistically they are better this year than they were last season.
Like I just said, like Indianapolis and Texas on paper aren't good teams, but they end up playing well. The Vikings are the opposite. They don't play well, but on paper they're a good team.
But like, how high are you on Philly? They hung with them the whole game. They had every opportunity to win that game. They shit the bed themselves.
Like I just think, like, if you look at momentum, like Chicago has so much more momentum riding right now than what Minnesota does. Like,
yeah,
they're 1-4. They lost their best player. All right, like they can't have a lot of confidence. They got fans like Johnny saying, "Let's just tank so we can have Caleb Williams." Like,
I do think that there's something to
there's
morale.
talk. They worked Colt McCoy out this week. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because Cousins might be a Jet.
yeah. Well, let's settle down. But they're talking about it. But here's where I'm with you, right? Bears riding high. They're riding the momentum. I'm with you from the aspect of Minnesota's 1-4 coming off a 12 or 13 win season. In their heads, they probably thought they were going to the playoffs again this year. And like now they start 1-4, which probably has to crush their soul. But man, they're just a better football team than the Bears. They are. That's what I'm struggling with. I'm not here. You want to know where I'm at, Coop? If I'm betting this game, I think like Hawkinson and Addison to pick up the slack for JJ not being there. I would probably look towards those player props. But I'm not going to bet the side or total in this game. But that's where I would.
No. Look. This right here, all right, is the game that we need to be all over live player props. Like we're like 20-0 in the last 2 weeks.
On the Bears,
on the freaking Bears.
Yeah.
Do you think live player props?
Do you think Fields has another day? Do you think he's going to look?
I mean, look. What makes you think either one of these defenses can stop the offense?
I don't have confidence in that at all.
Okay, so how does Chicago score then? It comes from Fields and it comes from DJ Moore.
So are you betting the alts?
Well, I don't want to change the subject completely.
Yeah.
But, one thing that you brought up last week, and I know you'll get to it later, is we got to start looking at shit on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. And we got to start looking at the weather too on Sunday nights.
It's so hard to
weather. But like I know, but like for the following week, because this is the time of the year where the weather starts possibly becoming, an influence. And I mean, I haven't looked at the weather here, but like somebody said, it might not be good weather.
Right.
All right. I don't know what that means, wind, rain, whatever. But we just need to look at that on Sundays too for the following week. But like Justin Fields has a lot of confidence right now. I mean, maybe it's Deonta Foreman. Like the guy runs the ball hard. And Minnesota can't stop the run, right?
Minnesota can't stop a fucking cold. They can't. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Sign said you can't use weather 7 days out. Yeah, it becomes really tough to do that. But here's where I'm with. Here's where I'm with.
But I'm not worried. Like the rain and snow really doesn't affect. It's the wind, and I think you can count on the wind more than rain and snow for accuracy.
The last 2 weeks, Fields threw for 335 and 282. Throw that KC game out, right? If you throw that game out, he's thrown for 216, 220, 335, and 282. And like if you look at his numbers at FanDuel, which I know
to get 200 yards, like you gotta bet.
Like that's plus 105, right? At 225 is 215 and 250 is 450. He can get to 225 for plus 215. He could definitely get there. I don't hate that.
I mean, like some of those ones that DJ Moore broke were long, which obviously helps.
Right.
But like he's had a high completion rate, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah, his completion percentage is this year. 61%. Yeah, that's solid. That's not bad.
It's probably 70% in those two games, the last two games.
Yeah, it probably is. It's 80% 2 weeks ago and 51% last week.
Ooh.
But like I'm totally with you. He can get to 225 for that plus money, and we could probably find a better number than DK.
Like I want his passing and rush yards
Combined.
Yeah, because like I'm not convinced. Maybe this is a week that they look to run more with him because they don't have their first two running backs and they're relying on Deonta Foreman.
That's possible. I could see that. I just hate he fucks us all the time with his rushing props.
Yeah, I know, but it's the betting, and look at what Twatty did. Like he wasn't afraid of Kelsey, even though he fucked us
4 weeks in a row. So assy. So
I can't find it combined. I can just find it, with the base.
The passing yard milestones came out on 365, and they're basically about the same as DK. He's 15-1 to throw
300 yards.
Holy shit! Could he have
1 to throw for 300 yards?
Yeah. Could he have that kind of day, you think?
Yeah. I mean, he's right there the last 2 weeks.
I don't know if I could bet 300 yards, Coop.
No.
I don't know if I could do that. 250 is like 450. I'm with you, though. Props in this game. No side or total. I think we have
live props.
Yeah. And I do think it's worth betting either Hawkinson or Addison. One of those guys is going to get a shit ton of targets with no JJ.
Well, hold on. Wait. Addison.
He's plus 575 to have 100 yards.
Well, he's 1425 to have 125.
I think Hawkinson's live for 75.
Let me ask you this, all right? You think he's live for what?
75 plus. Hawkinson. I think both those guys are good, probably. I mean, who else are they going to throw the ball to?
So let me ask you this, all right? We've won a fucking gazillion units. You want to have some fun?
We've had a good year, yes, my friend.
Why don't we just take it at 75, 100, and 125, all three of them? One of them has to hit 125.
Yeah, all right, yeah. And let me stop at Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a fucking tent first. I mean, how many bets do you want me to make, Coop?
They're all at plus 1,000 or more.
So you're saying take
125.
You're saying take Hawkinson, Addison, and Fields.
And more. More.
More. Oh, more.
Receiving yards.
What is his 100 plus?
450.
Really?
I mean, look at it. I think there's a good chance that 2 of the 3 hit 75. I think there's a good chance that 2 of the 3 hit 100. And a good chance that 1 of the 3 hit 125.
You think that – wait a minute. You think there's a good chance that 2 of the 3 guys hit 100? I think you're smoking crack.
Why?
Define a good chance.
75%.
No, you're out of your fucking mind. Signed. Are you listening to this guy? Are you listening to what he's saying right now?
You just sat here and told me like Addison and Hawkinson are getting the frickin' or do you think KJ Osborne gets some too?
Yeah, Osborne could get some for sure.
Maybe we just add him to it.
No, Coop, come on, bro. Can I bet at Sportsbook Coop? That's what I'm saying, bro. This guy's on crack.
All right, how many 100-yard games does Hawkinson have?
Well, probably like maybe 2 in his career, maybe.
Right. Well, this year and last year.
I could check that. Hold on. This guy
DJ Moore has back-to-back.
Bought some peyote at the wedding. All right, let's look here.
But like you can't be afraid to bet, man. Scared money don't win no money, man.
You're talking to a guy that's got like 1,400 plays logged this year. I am not afraid to bet. But like, I don't want to throw bad money after good. I can't wait till Sunday when we could talk about this. 2 out of 3 guys hitting 100. I cannot wait. You'll have Johnny on your side, I guarantee you. I guarantee you'll be like, yup, Hawk's going for 100. Addison's going for 125. All right, so this year, Hawkinson had 78. That was his high mark. Last year, Hawkinson had 2 games where he went over 100. He had 179 and 109. 2 games last year.
What about receptions for Hawk? He gets a lot more receptions.
Yeah, it was 4.5 all last year, but this year it went to 5.5 actually.
No, but like for his career, like how many times has he gone over like 7?
Oh, okay. Like last year he had 10 in the playoffs, and then he had 7, 13, 6, 7, 9, 8. But a bunch of like 3, 4, 5s too. But that was last year. This year, he had 5, 2, 8, 7, and 8. So he's been getting targets for sure.
So maybe we bet his 7, 8, 9, and 10 receptions.
I think that's probably a better route.
215, 390, 725, 1425.
Like what is 7 and 8?
7 and 8 is 215 and 390.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Johnny said receptions is the way to go. He said he could barely catch the ball.
Because he does get a lot of receptions.
Last week, Addison had 6 catches on 9 targets, Meyer said.
So, like, can you pull up their team?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
So how many targets does Jefferson get in a game, average? 10?
No, way more than that. Hold on. JJ's got 53 targets through 5 games. So, yeah, 10, a little over.
All right. So, you got Hawkinson.
He's got 40 targets through 5.
All right. Osborne and Addison?
29 for Addison through 5, 26 targets for Osborne through 5.
5 for both of them.
Yeah.
and then it drops off tremendously after that, right?
Right. So there are basically another 10 targets up for grabs this week.
Between those three players.
Right.
So you're really looking at, like, let's say 3 additional targets for them approximately.
Right.
And then we'll give them 1 to somebody else.
Right.
Do you think they try to establish the run with Cam Akers and Madison, and not go into the pass game?
No, I think they're going to run their normal offense. I think Cousins is going to be slinging it.
So they've been playing from behind?
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are that they play from behind this week? Because, I mean, obviously, the more you play from behind, the more you got to sling it, obviously.
I think that this is going to be a highly competitive game.
Back and forth?
Yeah. It could very well be back and forth. Yeah, for sure.
Does that fit back and forth? Does that favor run or pass, though?
I just think that their offense is their offense. Like, I don't think we have to worry about them running more until they're trying to, like, run clock with a lead late. Other than that, I think they're coming out with their normal offense, and Addison is going to be in that JJ slot, and they're just going to hope for the best.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, with the Bears, it's 3 players. It's Mooney, Moore, and Kmet.
Yeah.
And I think you have the same thing with these 3. You got Addison, Hockenson, Osborne.
Like, Madison's averaging about 12 carries a game. So they're not running.
The only thing that worries me is, like, Minnesota's got more potential to run than what the Bears do. Like DJ Moore. Is it 60.5 yards? Like, how do you not take that pregame?
DJ Moore is at 60.5. Well, here's the thing. It's like, will the real Justin Fields please stand up? Is it the guy from the last 2 weeks, or is it the guy that we've seen play?
Who's he played the last 2 weeks? Denver and
Washington, right?
All right. Washington, solid defense. Denver, not so much. Like, Minnesota doesn't have a better defense than either one of them, do they?
No. Definitely not Washington.
Right. I just think, like, there's a lot of good vibes going on now that, their coaching staff has flipped over and his mindset's in a right place. So, like, I would lean more that it continues versus, like, if they were playing a San Francisco or a Dallas or, a Jets, or a Baltimore, somebody with a good, defense, I could see him struggling. But, like, what's Minnesota going to do to stop him?
Yeah, I mean, their defense is terrible. I like, Fields is going to have his opportunities for sure. No doubt. I'm with you. Like, on, like, Fields to get 220 maybe, and I'm with you. I like the Hockenson 7 receptions and 8 receptions. I think he could definitely get there without JJ for sure.
Like, I think this is as good, if not better, spot than what you did with Miami.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot to target props. I'm with you.
All right. We got the Saints -1.5, 1.5 at the Texans, 42.5.
I kind of like the Texans in teasers. You can get that number up to +8.5. I think they can hang within 8.5 of New Orleans, don't you?
Yeah, definitely at home. But like, is this a sneaky game to go over, or do we just see these battle it out, defensive structure?
Well, I don't like the Texans defense at all. So I do think New Orleans is going to be able to get their points. And I do think that the Texans are probably going to be able to get their points as well. What's the total?
42.5.
I could see that game go over. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. But I do like the Texans. Like the one thing I targeted in that game is I'm gonna tease them up and have somebody else with them.
I mean, the Texans. Who did they play last week? It was a letdown game for them, wasn't it? Did they play Atlanta?
Yes, they played Atlanta. Yeah,
and lost after coming off a big win against Pittsburgh.
Yep, Adam wanted to bet the Texans, and I think I talked him off. Yeah, it was Atlanta for sure.
I mean, to me, this has to be a live bet game.
Yeah, or throw the Texans in a teaser. I don't mind that either.
All right. You got the Bengals at home -3 against the Seahawks, 45 total.
Tough game. I think I lean Cincy. Where are you at? They looked better last week. Don't you think that offense looked better last week?
Well, I really didn't watch it, but like, was Burrow mobile, or was he still throwing from, inside the hash marks?
Half and half, but he doesn't look like he's fully healthy, but he looks like he's working his way back to health. It was a step in the right direction last week.
I think is Jamal Adams back from his concussion. They were off last week.
Yeah, that I don't know. One of the boys in the chat let us know. I could look at if they have him on the eye.
Because that cornerback they got as a rookie, Witherspoon, is no joke, man. That kid closes extremely fast and just has a sense for the ball and the game. And their secondary is pretty good. Is Higgins back?
I'm looking right now to see.
Because like Seattle last year, like their defense was atrocious at the beginning of the year. And then right about now, it started getting better and better and better and better every week. And like I could see that if Jamal Adams comes back.
As of 6 hours ago, there was no game status for left tackle Charles Cross and safety Jamal Adams, so they're good to go. We'll get more details from Pete Carroll after practice ends. That was from a beat writer for Seattle.
So, like, I think this is a game where people think there's going to be points, so I wouldn't be surprised if it goes under.
Where do you lean sidewise?
Like, I got to lean with Cincinnati. I just don't think, like, Seattle's that good.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of good players, skill players, and a lot of good quarterbacks. Like I think that secondary can be really good if they all can stay healthy. But they're not strong up front. Wagner's old, but I could just see this being a field goal game too.
Higgins is gonna play, still questionable though. Jason Graham said,
because that'll hurt tomorrow.
Yeah, I lean Cincy.
But yeah, but I mean, Seattle, they just find a way to win here recently.
Yeah, and you never know with Seattle because they're capable of putting up 35 points one game.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they show up,
Like Geno hasn't been great. I mean, them getting Cross back's a big deal. That'll help their offensive line tremendously.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to bet that game. We'll probably live bet it, but I lean the Bengals.
You're not a big Walker fan this week?
Normally I am. He's my guy. But I'll probably stay away because I'm so invested in Mostert.
Right. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be points or?
I think that, you see, it's so hard to tell because Seattle could score 31 or they could score 13.
Right.
I think you could pencil Cincy in for 23, 24. I just don't know what you're going to get from the Seattle side. What's their team total? What do they got on the team totals? $23.5 for Cincy, 20.5 for Seattle. Yeah, that seems right to me. 23-24 for Cincy. And 20.5 for Seattle.
I don't know. I could just see it going a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm with you.
From it being an offensive shootout to it being a defensive struggle.
Right.
To it being a kicker's paradise where they just can't, capitalize in the red zone.
Yep.
In the end zone. But
did you bet that Niners line when I bet it?
Yeah.
Good. That line's fucking 10, bro. That's crazy.
If Adams is back, that helps the Bengals. I don't understand that. All right. Browns is next. It's now 9.5. Total's 36.
I'll be honest. I think they cover the current number.
I mean, how does Cleveland move the ball?
They don't. I can't see how they move the ball. There's no way that they're going to be able to score consistently. I think at 9.5, I think they cover that number. And I looked and McCaffrey's anytime touchdown was less than minus 180. Which, I mean, I just don't. I know that the Browns front seven is very good. It's probably the strength of that team. Even still, you can't stop McCaffrey from getting in the end zone. It's fucking impossible.
When is that letdown game coming from San Francisco?
It ain't this week, Coop. I just can't see it.
Because I think they peaked already this year.
You don't think that they can? You don't think they can consistently play at this level? I think they're the best team in the league by a mile.
Yeah, they are, no doubt, right now. But like, I don't want to be peaking right now. And they're playing, like, how much better can they play? Not much.
Yeah, not much. Not much than this. McCaffrey TD and the Niners win is minus 135. I mean, how is that not a bet? Against the Browns?
Who does Chase Purdy remind you of?
Who does Chase Purdy remind you of? Alex Smith. Remember Alex Smith?
Wow.
San Fran quarterback. That was that was a great. Alex Smith was an underrated quarterback. He was a great game manager, even for San Fran before they went with Kaepernick. He reminds me of Alex Smith. Why? Who does he remind you of?
Well, I was thinking a little bit more elite quarterback.
Who? Like Tom?
No.
Who?
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman? You want me to go back to 1990, bro?
I mean, like, Aikman wasn't a great quarterback, but he was a great leader, a great game manager, and had a lot of great players around him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what Purdy is right now. He doesn't have the leadership skill, obviously, only being in the second year.
My question is, how many quarterbacks right now that we think are below average could go run that offense and look like a stud? Probably a couple.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the whole part of everything, man. Like, being at the right on the right team with the right players around you. I mean, like, freaking Trevor Lawrence would be, like, All-American. Everybody would freaking love him, if he was on that team.
Do we always mix up Chase Purdy and Brock Purdy from NASCAR?
We did.
I say that I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks, who could fit the system.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, and I think that's what makes Brady different. Like, he made the players better. The players are making Purdy better right now.
I'm probably gonna bet that McCaffrey anytime and the Niners win. I know we have an automatic win with the Niners minus 2.5, but I'm probably doing it. It's
I don't know. The letdown game's coming.
McCaffrey to score and the 49ers win is plus money at BR right now.
We gotta move on.
I'm literally going to bet that right now.
The Falcons are a 2.5 point favorite. The Falcons are a 2.5 point favorite.
To Washington, right? Yeah.
At 42.5.
Give me Washington in the teaser. That's the other half of your teaser, right there. They can't hang with an 8.5 of Atlanta.
I mean, evidently, Ridley or Riddler or whatever his name is had a hell of a freaking. He had his coming out party last week. 300-yard game. I could see this game going over.
Hold on, I'm just betting this.
What are you betting?
Niners win and McCaffrey plus 102 at BR. I kind of think that Washington could win that game. Like, if they could stop the run, I think they could win that game.
So let me ask you this question. All right, you were just talking about Brock Purdy. Like, can all these players go? Like, what would Sam Howell do in that offense? Like, I don't think he would be. I don't think he was be doing what Brock Purdy's doing.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I bet you he'd look a lot better than he does right now in Washington.
Oh yeah. But I mean, Who would? But I think like that from that perspective, you got to give Purdy more credit. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just so hard to tell because that team is so damn good.
Like with the Falcons quarterback, what would he be doing?
Not that.
Right. Geno Smith?
Not that. Oh, I know. I could tell you. I'm not that. I could tell you that.
What about Baker?
Baker could probably. He could look good in San Fran. All right, that's in.
Well, what about this is the ultimate question. Zach Wilson.
Come on, bro. Are we really doing this right now? No, he's terrible.
One thing I want to look at here. Why? So I went to our favorite bet on 365.
What's that?
Rushing attempts.
Yeah. Team rushing attempts?
Yeah, they don't have one for Atlanta.
Yeah.
They have yards.
What's the total?
On yards, 135 minus 115.
We're not going to be able to bet that market much longer. I mean, you know what? I probably, if it wasn't for how bad Washington looked against Chicago, I probably would have bet that. I probably would have bet them straight. But I was taken back by how bad they looked against the Bears. I don't know what to make of that game. Either way, I think they could stay within 8.5. I think they're a good teaser leg.
Live bet game?
Yeah.
Mostly totals.
The rushing, like those team rushing numbers, like if Atlanta looks like they're in control, it's probably worth getting on that live team rushing yard number.
Mm-hmm.
If they look like they're in control of the game, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right, the Raiders are at home against the Patriots, given 3 points, 41.5. Is there a bet out there for Cam Jones to get benched for a third week in a row?
I'll tell you. You want to know the bet that I would make in this game? I don't know.
So let me ask you one more. Let's go back. What would he be good?
Who
in San Francisco?
Who? Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
Fuck no, he's terrible. Which leads me to my bet. If I was betting something in this game, it would be him to throw a pick. That kid is, he is bad, Coop. He's terrible. He does not look good this year at all.
I told you, man, that what's his name has something on him, and he says it's really bad.
What is his INT number?
Minus 120.
That's not bad. How many does he have this year? Let me check that. But looking at this game, I don't have much interest to bet this game at all. But I wouldn't mind. The kid's got 6 picks, Coop. He's got more picks than touchdowns. If I was betting something in this game, it would be him to throw a pick for sure. That would probably be my only bet in the game. And Jimmy, you know what? Garoppolo too. I'd probably bet him to throw a pick in the game. because he's brutal. He's got 7 so far through 5 games. What books?
Devontae Adams, 76.5 yards. Do we go back to him?
Oh, he fucked us good last week. Signed the book that has that, the 2 INTs, it's Bet365. It's the INT milestone. That's what it is. But I think you can go 2+ for both those guys and you might hit it. That's how bad they are. So I'll probably bet them to throw a pick. But other than that, I don't know, Coop. What do you think? Do you think you go back to Devontae? He fucked me good last week.
I think we have to count on the Patriots scoring some points and keeping it somewhat close. But 76 yards, that's a good number for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's what the number was last week. And his receptions was like 6.5 at even money.
$6.5, 120.
Minus 120?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, if I don't go back to it, he'll have 10 for 140.
Right.
But I would bet both those quarterbacks to throw a pick before I bet that.
Do you think the Raiders are a team that kind of plays at their opponent's level and it could be a sloppy game?
I mean, I would say yes, but like you can't they have they played up to anybody's level? Not really, right?
Right. Okay. Not much for me. If it's anything, it's Devontae.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the Mac Jones interception props.
Yeah. And Jimmy G threw 7. So, I mean,
real quick, I want to go back. 2 bets I like, especially using with NASCAR. I haven't used them yet, but I will. Is the Miami Dolphins first half full game total. First half full game.
Oh, yeah.
And the 49ers first half full game.
So I was kind of similar. What I thought was the Bills, the Niners, and the Dolphins first half money line.
Oh, okay.
Or another one that I was thinking about was maybe taking the Niners out and using McCaffrey score TD and the Niners win. But I'm basically where you're at. I mean, are you using the Bills at all? They should destroy the Giants.
Yeah. Hold on. Where do I find, why can't I find the freaking first half money line on 365?
First half money line, that is
there it is. Oh, no. That's first half money line in total. I just want the money line.
Well, they have the 3-way money line, but if it's tied, you lose.
I'm not worried about it being a tie.
Yeah, it's under half props. And then
I'm looking under half props.
First half
result
3-way. Yeah, exactly.
Result. It's minus 320.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
What's the halftime full times?
Much better than that. Hold on. 250.
Yeah, that's better. What is the halftime full time at DK? 210. That's not bad. 210.
Mm-hmm. That's even better than 365. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Rams and Cardinals. Rams are giving 7 points, 48
Yeah.
and a half total.
If I was betting the game, I'd probably take the 7. So I lean Cards for a full TD. Prop wise,
Cooper Cup over 7.5 plus 115.
yeah, I guess. I mean, you could always go with that when he's healthy. I don't mind that. Don't you think the total? Doesn't the total feel a little high?
Yeah, it does.
What
like I could see both. I mean, I can see both teams having issues getting the ball in the end zone, and some of them touchdowns coming field goals, and that game going under. But
and last week, just so you know, the total was 46. It's gone up 3 points. On October 8th, Sunday night, that total was 46 at DK.
I mean, Arizona's using running back I've never freaking heard of. Hold on.
What side do you like signed? You like the Rams? I just think that's a lot of points to lay. That line is weird to me. Why are the Rams given a full TD?
Right. And net points. How did Cup do last week? How many targets did he get?
Oh, I think he crushed. I think he went over his number in the first half. Hold on, I'll check. I thought he had like 10 catches at the break or something crazy. He had 8 catches, 12 targets for 118 in the first game back. He'll be good for 10, somewhere around there, 8, 9, 10.
I mean, they're all positive numbers on 365. 115 to 360.
For what, receptions?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really ever hate going to him because his usage rate is insane when he's healthy.
What part of his body did he hurt?
I thought he was out because he tore an ACL, wasn't it? What was the Cup injury, boys? Did he tear his ACL? Hamstring.
See, that's a concern. Because hamstrings can pop back up.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to tear your ACL usually back to back.
Kyron Williams has been a stud too. He's been pretty solid.
It's Adams' boy.
Yep.
What's his numbers? Let's see. 65 and a half. Ooh.
Yeah, he's averaging 60 a game. But I think that was with one game where he basically did like nothing.
But what did he do last week when Cup came back?
13 for 53.
So he was under on both.
Yeah. But that was a game that they lost to Philly. it could be a different story this game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lions -3 at Buccaneers, 42.5.
Yeah,
No Lamar Gibbs.
Yeah, I know, but I love the Lions. They're my second favorite side of the week. I think I had that line at like 5.5. I just think the line's wrong. They shouldn't be 3. They're too
How are
good.
they doing on the road this year?
2-0 away.
Who'd they beat?
They beat Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and they beat the Packers by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I just think when you look at the skill level between these two teams, I think that Goff is really going to have to shit the bed in order for Tampa to win. They're just in two different leagues.
Mike Evans is back.
Yeah, he's back.
Like, not that I'm a big backer of Tampa Bay, but like, I guess I'm just a little skeptical still on the Lions, especially on the.
They've now had about 23 games where they've looked phenomenal. I think that they took a big step last week. Teams, good teams beat up on bad teams. With the exception of Kansas City. They're the one weird team that for some reason can never cover a fucking double-digit spread. But outside of that in the NFL, good teams usually beat the shit out of bad teams. And they've been doing that this year. I think they're for real. I really do. And Goff is so underrated, man. People shit all over that kid when he was in LA, talking about how good Carson Wentz was. Their fucking people were on acid. Jared Goff is a solid quarterback. That running game is solid. That offensive line has played phenomenal. That defensive front seven has been on point. I just think they're a great football team.
What Lions side do you like? Just the total? I mean, the game?
Yeah, I laid the 3. I thought that this line, my gut said that the line would have been like 4 by Sunday, but it still hasn't moved, which is a little weird. But I would be surprised if it wasn't 3.5 by kick. I think the line's off by 2.5 points.
You think the Jaguars win? Straight up.
I think so. But of all the favorites that we've talked about, that like quality teams, I think that they're the team that could get beat.
And you like Washington over Atlanta too?
I do, yeah. If I bet them, I'll use them in a teaser. But if they look good against the Bears that last week, and this line was 2.5, I would have bet the 2.5. But last week threw me off a little bit. I don't know what the fuck they did last week. They looked terrible.
And you like the Vikings over the Bears?
Gun to my head, yeah, I think the Vikings win, yeah. But the way that we're going to attack that game is probably the optimal way to attack that game. Player props.
You like the Raiders over the Patriots, right?
Oh God. If I had to pick, yeah. Mac Jones is in disarray right now.
So, Detroit, Tampa Bay, the Patriots, the Raiders, the Commanders, the Falcons, Vikings and Bears, Colts and Jaguars.
Okay.
If you had to pick two of those teams, two from those 5 games, if you had to pick who would win, 2 that you feel most confident about.
Detroit and I mean, probably the Jags because they're the best team out of all those teams. Probably the Jags, I guess, but I wouldn't feel great about it because situationally, I think it's a bad spot for them. But I would say probably the Jags in Detroit, I guess. Oh, wait. You had the. Did you mention the Seattle game too?
I did not. No.
Oh, yeah. All right. Because I would probably would have threw the Bengals in there too.
You think the Bears and the Skins can win?
Yes, 100%. 100% they could both win.
Do you feel confident enough to use it as a 2-leg parlay?
No. But it could cash. I mean, we're talking about Minnesota and Washington. They're not world beaters.
No, the Bears.
Yeah, we're talking about they're playing Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, and we're talking about the Falcons.
Right.
So yeah. It wouldn't shock me in the least. Do I feel good enough to throw it in a parlay? No, I don't feel good enough to bet either of those 4 teams straight.
Because I mean, I'm looking at those 5 games. Like, there's some good numbers to where if you parlayed 2 of the 5, you could get a good number and only have to go in 2 decks.
Right. It's
like the Bears and the Skins are plus 417.
Right. It's going to be a sweat, but could that parlay cash 100%? Especially if Fields looks like the way he has the last 2 weeks.
All right, I'm sorry. I might have already asked you this, but are you on anything Detroit player wise?
I haven't bet anything. No, just the side.
Okay.
Although
I
mean, if somebody said they were going to back Montgomery with Gibbs being out, I wouldn't hate it. I think he's gonna work a ton, but I'd rather just lay the 3.
You think that game goes under?
See, the problem is like Detroit they're capable of hanging 40. They proved that like week in and week out they could get up.
But on the road against a somewhat decent defense.
What is the Tampa Bay team total? Let me check. See, like the Detroit team total's 22. That feels a little low to me. And the Tampa Bay team total at 19.5 feels a little high to me. Yeah, it could go under, but if Detroit shoots out, you're in trouble. The line feels
like Detroit's defense on paper has been really good. Like if you look at their statistics,
right? Yeah,
really good,
really good.
And like I'm thinking, like we saw what that offense does against a good defense in Philly.
Oh,
they weren't even at their full strength.
Sign brings up a good point. Baker could always throw a couple untimely picks in their own zone, that can make a score go up real quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that just laying the 3 is the play in that game. Although I just want to see what they have Montgomery at 75.5. That's probably fair. Plus, you got St. Brown back.
Right.
Like,
what about Laporta?
I think they can hang 30, Detroit. Laporta, I love Laporta. Kid's a stud. They don't have a line for him yet at DK.
Is he hurt or something?
I'll check.
They don't have it at 365 either.
Laporta.
While you're looking at, like, another thing that we got to keep watching for Kansas City, like, Patrick Mahomes has no confidence in any of his players other than Kelsey. I saw a stat today on Twitter where, like, Pacheco's receiving yards and receiving targets is like double last year.
Yeah,
like he's almost at 20%. Like, it's almost like he's becoming, another out for him.
Right, because he has nobody to throw the ball to besides Kelsey.
Right.
Laporta questionable with a calf. Dan Campbell said, "Don't know. We'll know more today." He was out and walked through. Blah blah blah. Full participation in practice though. He'll probably play.
Okay, but we need to look at Pacheco's receptions moving forward.
They're not winning a Super Bowl this year unless they sign a legitimate wideout.
They're not getting to the championship game.
Right. I'm with you. They're in trouble. They need somebody.
Like, I think they would have lost last night to 65% of the teams in the NFL.
Yeah. They haven't looked good.
All right. Eagles laying 6.5 at Jets, 41 total.
Yeah.
Eagles are beat up defensively. Which, I still think they're going to be there at the end of the year. They get the healthy back, and, like, I almost would rather be in their situation than in San Francisco because everything's gone perfect for San Francisco. Like, the injuries are going to catch up eventually. Who it's going to be, I don't know, for San Francisco. But the Eagles will get healthy, and they're going to be right there at the end.
So where I'm at in this game is I think that the Jets could hang within a touchdown if their defense really comes to play and Breece Hall can run.
Like, but has their defense really been like what we expected it to be this year? Like, it hasn't been dominant.
I think it's
been solid, good, but not like,
I think they've been a top 10 defense this year, don't you?
Yeah. Like, solid.
Yeah. If the Jets defense plays well and Breece Hall can run, they can hang within a touchdown.
Is Sauce Gardner playing? Didn't he get injured or something last week?
Jalen Carter and Slay being out is pretty big losses for the Eagles. That defense can't be run on. Eagles play Miami next week. How focused is a not healthy Eagles team this week? Eagle secondary is suspect. Sauce has an illness, they're saying.
Okay.
I think the Jets can hang within 7. I probably would have went right back to Breece Hall if they weren't playing the Eagles. That kind of scared me off his props this week. But if I was betting a side, I would probably take the Jets at a full touchdown. What's the total?
41.
I mean, I could,
lean under.
yeah, I
Like,
could see that going under. Yeah.
like the Eagles, like they're scoring like 20 to 24 a game, basically.
Yeah, their team total is 23.5. Jets is 16.5. I mean, I see a world where the Jets don't score 17 too.
Yeah, but do you see a world where the game shoots out if the Jets get up early and Zach Wilson's actually competent?
Yeah, I mean, if he looks the way he did in that KC game,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this game could shoot out. If Brees Hall breaks a run and the defense doesn't come to play, yeah, it could get over for sure.
I mean, the Eagles,
What's up, Razor?
I don't know if they want to say they're struggling. I mean, we all know they're not playing what they're up to playing. But, they could have lost to Tampa Bay. I mean, not Tampa Bay, but New England, the first game. Mm-hmm. The Rams, played them competitively.
Yep.
So, why not the Jets?
I'm with you. I think that, yeah, I would take the touchdown before I would lay it here.
Like, what if you remove the Tampa Bay game? Like, what's the biggest margin of victory for Philly?
I could tell you that. They removed the Tampa game. Their biggest margin of victory this year was last week, 11, the Rams. They beat the Pats by 5. They beat the Vikings by 6. They beat Washington by 3. And then they beat the Bucks by 2 TDs. And they beat the Rams by 9.
Do you feel confident enough to use plus 13.5 as a NASCAR teaser, or 14.5, excuse me?
Yeah.
Piece?
I like that. Yeah. I would be surprised if they get blown out of the box. Yeah.
I mean, last night, I think was the ultimate, with I took 20.5 points and got it for minus 360 with the Broncos. That's a hell of a value. 14.5 at 375. I don't mind that.
I don't mind that, but I agree with Johnny. I could definitely see a 24-10 final. That could happen for sure.
Right.
But I don't really see them beating them by 17 to 20. They don't look like last year. They're just not there yet.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Okay.
Ostradamus said Eagles by 1 million. How dare you? How dare you say that about my team?
I mean, I don't think the Eagles are beating anybody right now by 1 million. They have too many issues on defense. And I mean, Zach Wilson didn't play bad last week, did he? He wasn't horrendous.
No, he wasn't horrendous. No.
He looked like, he probably looked better than frickin' Russell Wilson last night. God, that guy was horrible.
Yeah,
he couldn't trip. He couldn't get over his own feet. He kept tripping.
I know. I can't believe Sean Payton took that job.
Oh, $80 million he got too, right? Or something like that.
They're just not going to be good for he needs a quarterback. Russ is cooked. He's done. Buffalo Giants. I think that
Buffalo.
They could name the score, whatever they want to beat the Giants by. The one play that I thought about in that game, was the Buffalo sack prop. The Giants have the worst offensive line by a mile in football right now. So I think that the sack line is pretty live on Buffalo.
So I know earlier you mentioned that like the good teams are just beating the crap out of the bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it's only 3, but like to pull off 3 is tough. But like, do you think they can beat them by 15?
Buffalo?
Like I think they can beat them by like 24. Like I don't know how the Giants are going to score. Like Buffalo has been really good at home this year. If it was on the road, maybe it was a little different because they haven't been good on the road, but they've been really good on the home.
I think that this could be 38-13 and nobody would even blink twice. They could name the score. The Giants are horrific.
You said earlier you think San Francisco covers 9.5.
Yeah, I do.
Because again, like how do they score? How does Cleveland score?
It's same thing in this game. Although I will say, like, the one thing we're not accounting for is that it's not Danny Dimes. It's going to be Tyrod Taylor, right? Who might be an upgrade.
Saquon's playing too, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and like the one thing, like Tyrod, he could move. He could at least get out of the pocket. I guess Danny Dimes can too. That's not being fair to him. He's a pretty good winner. I don't know. I just think they can name the score. They want to score 4.
Like when was the last time 3 favorites in the same week covered 10+ points?
Oh, I think that happens more than you would think.
You think? Is there any way to find out?
Without just pouring through the games?
I mean, there's got to be something out there where you just punch it in and it tells you.
I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to look for that.
Because, like, if you parlay those 3, it's $5.95.
By the way, the Buffalo sack prop is 3.5, like minus $1.10.
I love the way that, like I mentioned, like if you parlay those 3 and you just moved right on.
Yeah, I come on, you're killing me with these fucking parlays, man. Jesus Christ. But yeah, dude, I think they could all cover. I think that the Niners are going to cover. I think Buffalo's going to cover. And what was the other team? Miami. Miami's going to cover. Yeah. I think they probably
$5.95, man. Let's do it.
No. No. We're already on so many winners this weekend. I'm not parlaying in those 3. I might bet that Buffalo sack prop though.
What was it again? 3?
3.5, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they're on a pace to be like the worst in the history of the league.
Jay.
Yeah.
Those 3 to cover the game number.
Yeah.
Plus Bubba Wallace is 145 to 1.
What is it? What is Kyle Larson in those 3?
33.
Yeah, like maybe that's more interesting. I don't need 150 on Bubba. I'm trying to get that price up on Larson and Byron and Denny. How many legs did you tie to Larson, Byron, and Denny?
Hold on. I have 2 parlays.
Okay.
I've got. It was 5 for one of them,
Okay.
and then 8 for the other. But I mean, they're like super safe, man.
This fucking guy.
I mean, like it's San Francisco, Miami, and Buffalo -2.5.
What are those, like minus 1,000?
Yeah, something like that. They were like -800 or something. I don't know.
You're fucking nuts. You're nuts. Sign said,
It's about safety, man.
Can they fit on your fingers and toes?
Yeah. See, like, that's why I was looking for like some 2 or 3 leggers, man. Like, you know. But yeah, I mean, like I think I want to take a shot at that, but I don't know with what.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could all cover. And to be honest, I think you should throw Detroit in there -3 too. I think that line is a gift.
Jesus.
That line's a gift, Coop. I'm telling you.
Well, that's why I was looking at it with the other one. Like maybe Detroit and Miami. Detroit and Jags.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried a little bit about the Jags, but they could win that game. For signed, I haven't even really looked. I knew I was going to have so much NASCAR NFL action. I barely looked at the UFC this weekend, but I will be on Alex Siva, like I told you I would be.
Who?
A girl in the UFC. Her name is Irina Alexeva. She's
okay.
She's
Russian or something.
Yeah, she's plus 125
over Melissa Dixon.
Yep, I like her. I think she wins.
Do you like Emily Ducati?
It wouldn't shock me if she lost.
Adam told me it was a lock.
What the fuck does Adam know about the UFC?
He told me it was a lock, man.
Stop it.
Gutierrez against Olating.
Adam said, "Stop it." I mean, yeah, dude. Listen, she shouldn't be fucking a $4 favorite. Stop. That's crazy. Adam Meyer said, "I never said that." Jesus Christ, Coop.
I'm going back and looking. he sends me this parlay, and I said, who is Emily Ducati? She's the girl fighting Ashley Yoder. She's minus 375 on DK.
Yeah, like it wouldn't shock me if that fight went to a split. Yeah, I don't mind Lisboa. Mind.
Terrence McKinney.
I mean, he's good in round 1. That's it, though. You could bet him to win in round 1. That's it.
But he's gonna win, right?
He's minus 200 to win in round 1. He should win, but that kid shits the bed all the time when he should win. Yeah.
So he's like a Minnesota Viking.
Yeah.
Let me check out my favorite bets. Ducati to go to distance is 370.
That should
Is that
go.
a parlay?
It should go the distance. Yeah.
Wait a minute. This doesn't seem right. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. Hold on. Shoot, wrong flight. Oh, I must have been looking at something different. Never mind.
Iowa, are you around tomorrow? I remember you said something to me about work. When are you going? When are you going away?
He's going to Mexico or something. Didn't he say something?
Is it this weekend or is it next weekend? I hope it's next weekend. Oh, you leave Monday. My guy, you're in. Let's go.
So, Maia against Aruhu, minus 400 to go to the distance.
Jennifer Maya, Viviani Arujo. Yeah, that should go the distance. Yeah.
And you think Yoder goes the distance too?
Yeah. Where are you guys? Where are you guys at on the Jonathan Martinez, Adrian Yanez fight? I'm shocked that that line's a pick. I would have thought Adrian Yanez would have been a bigger favorite. There's some fun fights tomorrow. I'll probably just bet them live. But I'll probably take a shot on Alex Siva.
Are you betting Logan Paul tomorrow night?
I was going to take Byron and Bell, but the numbers just aren't that good. You think anybody's worth betting, number-wise?
I hope you're not asking me.
I am asking you.
With Logan Paul?
Oh, I thought you said the poll.
No. Logan Paul.
Oh. I have no idea. I'm not betting that shit. Johnny and Sindar, though. You can count on those lunatics. There's no way I just saw Dylan Dennis for everything I've got. I should ban you from the chat for the weekend.
Did you watch practice today?
No. It for Xfinity?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Maya, did you watch it? Like, who looked the best?
I think Adam watched it, yeah. Well, like, I guess Nemechek didn't qualify.
He has saw an oil leak or something, some kind of leak. Allgaier, like I saw, like he was like one of the slowest cars on long runs.
Yeah, like Nemechek had the fastest 10 and 15 lap average Custer was right behind him.
And then Austin Hill wasn't that great. I wonder if Custer's worth a shot at 600.
He looked like the second best car in practice from the numbers. Josh Berry, man, that car has been so good the second half of the year. Guy's on the pole every week now.
He's 500 on DK.
I mean, it's probably either Nemechek or Custer, one of those two. If Allgaier's car is no good. But like you said, though, Coop, earlier tonight, like a lot of the guys that don't qualify or practice well end up doing well in Vegas, right?
Yeah, and like tomorrow, man, like this might be over top of your head, but like they're supposed to have something like where the moon like goes over the sun or something, and it becomes dark during practice or qualifying.
Like an eclipse?
Something like that, yeah.
I
don't think it's a total eclipse.
Do we have to handicap the eclipse now? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Like I think, like I don't know if it's going to be during practice or qualifying, but I think like the track's going to have different conditions when it goes from darkness to back to the sun and vice versa.
Listen, bro, we're not handicapping the eclipse in practice, okay?
But it's supposed to happen during practice or qualifying.
Just let it happen. There's no angle on the eclipse, Coop. What's the number on Allgaier?
But I mean, that like when clouds come out, man, it makes the track.
I know. Yeah, it'll make the track cooler.
Yeah. I
know. Did you bet this Colorado game?
No, but I should have took Colorado. They were up 28-0 or something.
29-0 going into the half. Well, do you know what the line was?
Like 11.5.
Wow. Fucking Deion's kid's going to be a quarterback in the NFL. Crazy.
Where was that 425 for Hocevar? MGM?
I think so, yeah. I put money back in actually yesterday in MGM. Only on one account, though. Do you think
didn't Custer like do really good at Kansas? That was the last mile and a half they were on.
I could check that.
Or Texas, one of the two.
Tell you right now. Got Racing Reference pulled up here, buddy. Well, Nemechek won at Texas.
But he wasn't that great. He was just there, right? He had like a Willie B type of win.
And Nemechek won to Kansas too. Nemechek, he led 38 laps. Allgaier led 133. Custer led 28 in that last race at Texas.
Where did Custer finish? Third?
He finished 6th. Chandler and Sammy finished 3-4. What are the odds on Nemechek?
180.
Fuck off. You want me to take this series seriously? I mean, come on, man. Can't you for my own blood pressure, can't you just come with me and say, you know what, we're not betting it, and we'll just bet twice as much on the truck?
Did you see what happened this week in the Xfinity Series?
No, man, I didn't. Oh, Haley Deegan?
Oh, that was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, what? What happened?
The boy that you like to bet that never wins.
The guy I like to bet that never wins. In what series?
Xfinity.
Sheldon Creed?
Yeah.
What about him?
He's leaving RCR.
The Creedinator? Where's he going?
Yeah. To be determined, but a lot of people are saying he's going to get one of the Gibbs grinds.
Really?
Yeah.
Nemechek is 180. Wow. He's probably going to win.
I don't know, man. Like, how many times can you be in the right place at the right time and keep pulling it off? Like, he's been strong. He's been good, but, like, he hasn't been the car.
Yeah, like not like Noah Gragson like last year at times.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. But they don't
like,
even.
There's been some races out there where he's been the car, but like not all.
The problem is they don't even give you good value on the guys that we want to take a shot on to beat them. That's the problem with this series. It's not like
I got good value on Chandler, 1,600.
Yeah, you could maybe sell me on him. So what were the odds on Sammy?
Pre-qualifying, I'm not sure, but now he's 1,400.
And Allgaier could come out of nowhere too, for sure. He does that a lot. Yeah, I'm seeing 16-1 on Sammy, 12-1 on Chandler, 10-1.
Where do you see 16?
Superbook. Allgaier 350, Berry 5, Custer 6. You know, Sammy's been really strong on those mile and a halfs that Nemechek is good on too. He's just like a half step behind. Like he just can't get over the hump, but he can run in fourth all day.
Yeah, you know, so DB says total solar eclipse over Texas around noon.
There you go.
So noon, that would be what, like 10
a.m.
Vegas time?
Yeah, our time.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean? They're two. Isn't Texas 2 time zones over from us?
One.
Oh, so then it would be 11 a.m. here. You know, low key, who's been phenomenal this year? Parker Kligerman. The dude is there a lot. Like he finished in the top 3 at Texas. 50-1.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like Riley Herbst has been there a lot too.
Yeah, he has. 40-1.
Like at some point, somebody's got to, you know, win other than Nemechek, Allgaier. So minus a road race, who are the last winners in Xfinity?
The last winners were Nemechek at Texas, Allgaier at Bristol, Nemechek at Kansas, Denny at Darlington, Allgaier at Daytona, Nemechek at Michigan, Hill at Pocono, Nemechek at Loudon and Atlanta, Custer, Chicago, Dinger, Nashville, Custer, Portland.
Like somebody other than Nemechek or Allgaier's got to win here soon.
Yeah, they're killing. Right now they're dominating.
Like I think we should roll for some long shots here.
Like who? Sammy and Chandler, and who else?
Like, pull up the practice numbers. You got them pulled up?
Yeah.
Like 15 laps. Well, who is best? Other than you said John and Hunter, right?
Yeah, Nemechek 1, Custer 2, Hemrick 3, Herbst 4, Jones 5.
Okay. Was there anybody who ran 10 laps that didn't run 15 laps who were ahead of those guys?
Berry was third on the 10
Barry.
lap.
So Barry.
Chandler Smith was seventh on the 10 lap. And Kligerman was eighth on the 10 lap. They didn't run 15, I don't think. No.
So Barry and Custer.
Yeah. Custer was basically second behind Nemechek on the 10 and 15, and Custer was the fastest 5. So he's definitely got a whip.
Barry and Custer.
Yeah. Nemechek just looked better than them. Sammy looked like he's going to run around in the top 10 all day. Allgaier didn't look great, but man, that just sometimes it doesn't matter for that guy.
Right.
Ostradamus, I know, bro. I know, bro. guys got me talking Xfinity at midnight.
Well, man, I mean, this is the happiest you've been all week, man.
You're right. I'm not gonna lie, you're right, Coop. It's been a rough 2 weeks.
So, are you going to get on Willie B and Denny this week too to win the chip?
Yeah, those are the two guys. I got to figure out how, and I think we should bet one more person to cover our at least we'll have half the guys.
You know how I think you do it?
How?
Go to, I don't know where the number's best, but just go to a book that has them.
Has what?
The chip.
Oh. Okay.
So click on one of them.
Yeah.
Go to NFL.
Yeah.
Do the first half full game from Miami. And then do the same for Buffalo.
All right, hang on. I have to find it. Where the fuck is the halftime full time on this fucking site?
I mean, what slate? You picked the freaking most difficult one, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. The number that I'm working with is not as good as the other number, but at least I could find it now. So Buffalo 2, you said?
Yeah.
So the starting number on Hocevar was 3-1 instead of 450. But if you do that, basically it gets you from 3-1 to 560. So it would probably be like 4.5 to 1 to like 7.5. But that's all we need because that's what we have with Heim.
I mean, if you added San Francisco first half full game, like I feel confident about all three, but that's the one I feel least confident about.
So I think that we bet Hocevar and we'll have half the guys in the final. So I'm going to take Byron, Denny, and Hocevar before
Hocevar's in truck.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Because I mean, do you just want to let it ride with Heim for fucking all that money? I feel like we should bet. Hocevar's been really good.
Is Hocevar in?
Yeah.
So Heim and Hocevar are in.
Yeah, right now Heim is like plus 115 to win it all. And Hocevar is like 3-1 at BR.
Are you sure Hocevar's clinched? Did he win a race?
Isn't there just one more race? Yeah. The champion
next week.
The final four. I'll tell you right now who the final four are.
No, you can't tell me. There's one more race, so it's undetermined.
Oh, so it's not the final then?
All right, hold on. Who won the last truck race?
Hocevar is in second right now. He's 23 points to the good.
Who won the last truck race?
Well, Heim has a win, so I would assume it's him, right?
No, but there was another one that it's three.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
Heim didn't win the last one. He won the one before it.
Oh, there are 8 left. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so we have one more race to go. Yeah, Hocevar's getting in, though, unless something happens.
Who won the last race?
I'm telling you right now, you fuck. The internet is slow. Brett Moffitt won the last fucking race.
That's right. Yeah, he's not in it. That's why.
No. Yeah, I don't think Brett's going to win the chip this year.
So Hocevar's in second. How many points is he up on third and fourth?
He's up 14 points on third.
And fourth?
Fourth, he is 20 points up on fourth.
So if he doesn't win next week, barring, but Hocevar's been so good on tire wear tracks, and that's what Miami is.
I'm telling you right now, we have to bet him. We have to bet him. I know Eckes is going to be looming probably. He's probably going to be in those final four. And then maybe we'll have to make a decision, but we have to get on Hocevar. He's had a better truck than Eckes this year. It might be by a small margin, but he has had a better truck.
I wonder what Hocevar opens up next week. He's really good at these tire wear tracks.
I bet you he's third. He might be third choice behind Heim and Majeski.
In what world did we ever think that you would say he's third choice behind Heim and Majeski?
I know.
And
we thought
Zane Smith was not in there.
I we thought Zane probably is going to win another chip. But you know how long ago? Do you know? I have the date right here. Do you know when we bet him to win the chip? It was
June.
February 19th. We bet Corey Heim to win the chip.
Was it that early?
Yeah. February 19th.
No.
I'm telling you right now, the date is on the sheet. February 19th.
That would have been right after frickin' Daytona, man. We didn't bet him that early.
Well, then the date's wrong.
Yeah.
Because it says February 19th.
Mm-hmm.
The date might be wrong. I don't know. But we got him at 725 at BetMGM. So he's 450. Sign said at BetMGM. So I think we just gotta we gotta tie something to him, get him up to 7-1. And then we'll just go. We'll go in with both of them at 7-8-1.
Right.
That's the move. Although Eckes worries me, but can't bet them all. Actually, we could really. We could bet him too if it comes down to it that day to win to you know.
What's Eckes?
Right now, he's $450 at Bet Rivers and $350 sign said at BetMGM. So we really could bet. We could bet him too if we wanted to, and have them all at 7 or 8 to lock up profit.
Right. Like, let's see here, NASCAR. Like, I can't bet. But I mean, it comes down to the Miami race. Because that's the last one.
Right. And you
pull
up Eckes has
last year's Miami race.
Eckes has been better than we thought he would on Tire Wear Tracks this year too.
Yeah. Pull up the Miami race.
From last year?
Last year. Yeah.
Okay. You want to take a guess who won that race?
Zane Smith.
Good guess. My guy finished second. Ben Rhodes second. Chandler Smith third.
So, like,
Corey Haim, out of all the guys that we bet, Corey Haim was 7th. He was the first one. Hocevar finished 10th. And Eckes finished 30th.
Do you have an issue?
No, it doesn't say he had an issue. It just says 30th.
All right, so you said Hocevar has a 14-point lead on third. Who's in third? Eckes, I assume.
Eckes is in third, yeah.
And then a 20-point lead on Enfinger, I assume, is in fourth.
Nick Sanchez.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Grant is the first guy out in fifth.
How many points is he behind Sanchez?
3.
Keep going.
Ben Rhodes, 5 points behind Sanchez. And then the last two guys, Majeski, 19 back, Zane, 36 back.
All right, so Zane's out of it. He has to win. And he just hasn't shown speed.
Right.
What did Nick Sanchez run this Miami race last year?
Nick Sanchez. No. He did not. The 2 truck wasn't even in the race. Nobody ran that truck. I'll tell you what, man. Grant Enfinger, if he could get in, he's going to be a fucking problem at Miami. And Ben too, if he gets in. If they somehow if one of those guys gets in, they're going to be a problem at Homestead.
Homestead's the next race, man.
Oh, I thought that was the last race.
No, Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix, my bad. So here's the thing. Ben Rhodes and Enfinger, they ran really well at that Phoenix race, really well. if one of those guys
But-
gets in, they could be a problem.
Right, but see, here's the other thing. Like, Osifar, Eckes, Infinger, Rhodes, and Majeski and Sanchez,
Yeah,
they're all going to be racing for points
yeah,
in the stages.
okay.
Like, does that help Zane Smith try to do a win strategy? Like, it's not like a road course, but like,
The problem is he just hasn't had the truck all year. He hasn't had a winning truck.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Let me ask you this: when they get to the final race, is it just how those four guys finish?
Yeah, they don't have to win. It's just how they finish between the four, and there's no stage points.
God, you make me want to take a fucking shot on either Rhodes or Enfinger to sneak in, because if they get in there, Coop, they're going to be a fucking problem. They're really good at Phoenix.
How did we'll go back to Darlington?
Darlington from this year?
Mm-hmm. Because like that's probably it's more the tires are more aggressive there than what they are at Miami, but Miami's still.
We're in the weeds right now. That was the race. Remember, I just said to you, we were surprised how good Eckes was. He won that race. Hocevar finished 5th. Heim finished 8th. Enfinger 14th. Rhodes 18th. Eckes won.
What about Charlotte?
Charlotte?
I think Ben Rhodes did good that race.
Ben Rhodes won that race. And Corey Heim finished 2nd. Hocevar was 4th. Enfinger 5. Eckes 6. They were all up there.
Kansas.
Eckes 1. Corey Heim 4. Hocevar 6.
I think it's Hocevar and Eckes, man.
Yep.
Because their names are consistently in the top, 5, 6, 7.
So we just try to get them up to 7 or 8 and then take the 4 or 5 unit win.
We got to hope they get there. But, I mean, I think, Majeski's name wasn't really mentioned. Sanchez's name wasn't mentioned. Zane Smith's name wasn't mentioned.
Right.
But every race it was Hocevar and Eckes.
Yeah.
Eckes won 2 of them.
Yep. And he won the highest tire wear track of the year. And Hocevar was right there behind him at Darlington.
Like if I was taking a shot, it would have to be on Sanchez.
Why? Oh, you're talking like a long shot.
Yeah, the longest number. And like he's not great at tire wear. But I think, he's fast.
Yeah. But that don't mean shit at Phoenix, right? Like,
no. I think Heim is the best shot at Phoenix. He does well on flats.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape. I think so. The question is, do we take both Hocevar and Eckes before the next race, or do we take one of them? Do we take Hocevar before the next race.
Well,
And
no. You got to take both before. Because, like, if you go into that last race, you're going to know who the 4 are. And I would imagine, like, the last place driver is going to be no worse than 4-1.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe even lower than that.
Because you got to figure, like, the favorite will probably be even money. Then, like, 200, 300, and 400 might not be exact numbers, but I couldn't see it being
like
400.
I think last year the final 4 for the Cup, they were all plus 200 or plus between 2-1 and 250. All 4 guys.
Like Sign was asking me like a week or two ago, like, you can bet live in the championship race to win the championship, right?
Well, at that point, you're just live betting the race, right?
Right, but you can bet those 4 drivers separately to win the championship during the race.
During the race,
I think you can.
I don't know, because don't they usually pull the futures during the race?
No, I think it's just a different bet. Like, it's not like a future bet. It's like a bet that they just have for that.
Oh, okay. Maybe
those 4 drivers.
You could be right. I'm not sure. You could be right. So then I'm gonna have to take Byron and Denny and Hocevar and Eckes. More fucking money. So stressful, bro. Even when we're up a fucking million units, it's still stressful.
Yeah, you got to manage your bankroll right to manage your life right.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I mean, when you're paying $385 for cable,
it was shitty cable, shitty cable.
Anything else?
No, buddy. I think we fucking covered it all in the 3.5 hours. So I'm gonna have to make a lot of bets when I go to bed in my bed.
You've been sleeping in your bed?
Yeah.
With the pillows?
Yeah.
Underneath the legs?
Yeah. Still, it's like I'm laying back in a chair. My fucking feet are up like I'm sitting in a chair. I'm just laying on my back. It's the only way I can get relief. There's just so many bets to make.
Yeah.
And I still have to figure out how I'm going to get on Reddick, Larson, Byron, and Denny in the race. Because I bet Bubba and Bowman and Gibbs straight.
You bet the opposite of me.
Yeah.
I bet the opposite of you so far. You got any plans for Halloween, man? You got a costume yet?
Are you fucking high? No. This is my costume. How do I look? You like it? You like it? I picked it up at fucking Party City yesterday. How do I look?
I still see your bottle of Maker's Mark is empty.
Yeah, it's empty.
You haven't been to the ABC store?
No. Fucking Yeg comes back on the 20th. My birthday is the 26th. I'm probably going to get a shipment of alcohol. All right, we're getting out of here. We'll be live tomorrow, boys, at 3:30. We'll be live all day, all night, the boys. We got the race starts at 3:30, and then the UFC card starts at 4. We'll have Gav giving college football winners, and then we'll be live.
Big football game at 3:30 tomorrow too.
What is it?
Washington and is it Washington and Oregon State or something like that?
Yeah. I think we're on Washington, aren't we? I thought we were. No, he's got Ohio, BYU, Tennessee, and Kansas State on the website. I bet those. I think his two favorite plays are Kansas State and Ohio tomorrow, as far as I know. But we're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For Coop, I'm Keg. We'll see you next week. Later.